Welcome to the Cutting Room Floor, the show where you get all the behind the scenes stories from your favorite creators on their favorite projects. I am Liam, and this week we are talking about my first ever character, and technically my first series, if you want to call it that. Yes, that is right, we are talking about Kevin this week, so let's get right into it. Kevin started very shortly actually after I started making YouTube videos. I came up with the character of Kevin. Inspiration wise, I don't actually know where I got the idea from. Kevin's a weirdo. Okay, no ands or ifs about it. Kevin is a weirdo. The character kind of came from the lisp I had when I wore my retainer. Because yes, I did actually, for the longest time when I was first doing Kevin videos, I had to put my retainer in because it gave me a little bit of a lisp, and that's how I did my Kevin. Obviously, I don't need to do it anymore. I grew out of needing that. But for the longest time, I needed my retainer in if I was going to make a Kevin video. Starting all the way back at Kevin's Frozen Dive. The first skit, Kevin's Frozen Dive is a first of many. It's my first character. The first episode of the Kevin miniseries, or the Kevin Adventure series, I think is what I call it. And it is my first skit on this channel. It went a little bit until the next one happened. But Kevin was a character that kind of just came out of, I want to do something kind of funny. And I think it holds a place in my heart. It's funny. I think it's funny. It was later in the winter, obviously the snow had melted, and the issue was I came up with this idea of, I had this swimsuit, I had this swim cap, these goggles. What if I put this all together and I'm a weird guy, and this character is obsessed with swimming, and so he's like, it's winter, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go jump in the snow pile, and in my mind I was like, oh, the snow's here, so we're good. Filming it, and you guys can see in the video, the snow is like ice crystal at this point. We're like late into the season, and it's not cold. There's no powder for me to jump into. It's a pile of ice, pretty much. Best way to put it. And basically, I had my sister Kirsty come down with my camera, or come down. I have my camera on my tripod, and I had this. I had like a brief idea of like, okay, Kevin's gonna turn around. Like, it was meant to be like this first episode on a YouTube channel from this character of Kevin. He was gonna be like this reoccurring character, and obviously he did on this channel. And so Kevin, turns around and he does this whole like intro, and for the longest time, it's actually crazy because I thought that for Kevin I had dropped out of my bed, but I didn't. This room was a completely different setup when I did the Kevin videos. When I did most of my videos. But I had my desk behind me, and then I had a little wardrobe beside me, and so I was able to hide kind of behind that wardrobe, and then I could roll out and bang and then fall. And so that was the whole point. Was like Kevin was supposed to be clumsy. It was supposed to be like these little, not stunts because I couldn't do stunts, but these little like accidents that happen that one after another kind of get really funny. And so yeah, I went out, and without testing, without thinking of the I was like, okay, it's cold. Let's do this. Which meant that I got out there and I ran for it. I just went. The take in the video is the take I did. I think I only did maybe one. No, actually, I know I didn't do another take. It was a one and done. Because I was like, I'm gonna leave a mark on the snow, and I don't want to like put it back together. But I was barefoot, in these shorts, in a sleeveless tee. I'm not dressed to be outside in the winter. We have the snow pile there. We're recording. Like, you got it. We like practiced a couple of times with me running up. I'm like, hey, this is the shot. If you mess this up, you are fixing the snow while I warm up. So I go, I run, I jump. In my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hit. I'm gonna fall into the snow, and I'm gonna be good. No, because it's ice. So I whoosh, full stop. I'm stuck. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, I hold it for like a second, and then video ends. Because it was so cold. And not only it was cold, it was ice. So it was cutting into everything. It hurt so bad to jump in. And I held it, and I get out, And I ran back inside and I was like, it's done. It's filmed. Okay, it does not matter if I have to redo it. I'm not redoing it. It is filmed. I make it work. So then I had to like cut the video like short right away, like right at the end. And it's funny because now I look back at Kevin fondly. It was not received that way though. This was right when I was starting out. Campless had just come out a couple of weeks ago. I think a little while. Not even a couple of weeks ago. Campless had come out, and then like 2 videos later, Kevin's Frozen Dive comes out. If you thought the response to Campless was kind of rough, Kevin's Frozen Dive had a pretty rough response. Namely, the biggest one. There was a couple of positive comments. They've come later on. You know, Kevin's so funny. This is so funny. I'm loving this. There was one particular comment that, you know, I was so fresh into doing this, and I was young. I mean, I was 13 when I was filming all this. This was in like 2017, but like early 2017. And so there was one comment, I'd done this, and I was like, I was trying something new. You know, I wanted to be more than just like regular vlogs. I wanted to do some skit content. And I filmed it, uploaded it. I was like, this is funny. It's like 1 minute and like 32 seconds. It's short. And then I got a comment. And it was, you guys can go check it out. It is there still. Because my one thing, I've never wanted to delete hate comments or any negative comments. And this comment was, and it's kind of stupid looking back, but it was, since when did Jabba the Hutt learn to swim? Which, you know, in terms of how mean a comment could be, it's not that bad. But this was my first real negative one, where it wasn't about my work, because Campless, it was about the quality of the project. It was, you should watch more movies before you make one. It was stuff like that, where it's like, okay, like the project itself, quality-wise, isn't great. And this was something that I knew could happen. I was putting videos online. I still am ready for, like, prepared for the negativity and the hate. But this was a rough comment, because I'm 13, and you expect a comment on the project. You know, I was like, oh, like, you're not gonna like this, but since when did Jabba the Hutt learn to swim? It's clearly not about Kevin. It's clearly not about Kevin. It's not about the video. It's about me. But I'm like, I'm gonna laugh it off. So I responded, haha, funny. Because you know, I'm good. Thinking, you know, I respond for the engagement, then move on. But they double down. They comment again. Do your parents still love you? This feels like a cry for help. At this point, it really hurt my confidence and my comfortability in front of the camera. I talked back when I was talking about Campless. I was not comfortable in front of the camera. And a lot of that stemmed from some of the issues I had with how I saw myself. And yeah, so I think this was around the time where I felt comfortable enough in front of the camera to now start experimenting, going, you know, okay, like I'm good here. I want to do a character now. You know, I grew up watching Smosh. I want to do character work. I want to make skits. And so getting these comments, you know, where I felt like I was putting myself out there. I was trying something different. I hadn't done anything like Kevin before. So this really shook my confidence, and I feel affected me for a couple of years. I mean, even now, I still, when I'm editing, I'll be looking like, ooh, like that was not a good angle. Really quickly, I found out what angles I liked filming in. But this put me back into the feeling uncomfortable watching myself on video. I didn't want to put costumes on and try different things, because That'd be the best experience. And so while looking back now, nearly a decade later, and being able to say, you know what? The comments, they're mean, yeah. But there's no reason for those to affect me in any way beyond wasting the time to read them. And I really wish that when these comments had first come out, I don't know. I had a lot of issues stemming from Kevin's Frozen Dive. It was my first character. It was my first skit. And it was something that stuck with me. The response. Because, yeah, like, you know, I don't know if it's a saying, but you can get a million positive comments, but that one negative comment, that can bring you down. And I feel like I'm a pretty positive person. I'd like to focus on the positives. But I don't get comments like that. I'm a small channel at this time. I don't even think I had 80 subscribers. It took me 2 years. Almost over 2 years to get 100. So I'm small. And there was that illusion of being protected from hate when you're that small. But nevertheless, hate found me. And it stuck with me. And it is still something that I think about, you know, despite those comments being stupid. Almost 10 years later, I still think about them sometimes. But that was Kevin's Frozen Dive. It was the first. Okay, for better or for worse, it pushed me into the place that I am today, where I'm now sitting here making these videos and comfortable talking to you guys and talking about myself. And it introduced this character, which I then followed up with in another video titled Kevin's Missing. Not featuring Kevin. It is featuring the first fictionalized version of Liam in a house coat, trying my camera angles because I'm in video production classes. Doing this little, like, I'm saying the story, like, Kevin's missing, like, can't find him anywhere, like, I don't know what's going on, like, this is so scary. And this video was purely to set up Kevin's Ransom, the next video in this adventure series. Which, if you guys have seen that video, it's a request. It was a requested video. I was not planning on bringing Kevin back. I was not planning on doing these videos. Those comments in the first one, they hurt. But, you know, I had a friend from school. It's like, I love Kevin. Could you make me, could you have Kevin wish me happy birthday? And I was like, okay, let me formulate this. And the storyteller brain, like, okay, what if I do like a little mini story? You know, Kevin's kidnapped. Kevin's held at ransom, gunpoint. And so it was really funny. And I think like this one actually is a really good video. Kevin's Missing. It sets it up. It's fun. It's short. It's honestly doesn't have to be a part of the Kevin's adventure mini series. But Kevin's Ransom. I love this video because it is so funny to me. It sets up so many things that I brought back with the character. For one, Kevin is my character that breaks the fourth wall. I didn't do it a ton in Living with Myself. But in this one, he's held ransom. Like, he's held for ransom. And I think it was so funny that, you know, again, my sister Kirsty, who was in Campless, she was my little captor. I had a mask on, the gun, she was walking around. And I thought it was really funny because she punctuated things with enough, and she would stomp her foot on the ground every single time because I'm like, I want to make your voice scary because you're not scary right now. You're 11 years old, so I need you to be scary. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Wait until I'm done speaking, because the other thing I did with Kevin was pitched up, Kirsty was pitched down. That was how I did the voices. Do you guys see the issue? You can't have an overlapping voice line. Because either both of them have to be brought down, both of them have to be brought up, or they get left alone, and that's not what I was doing. So that's why she would stomp her foot before speaking. That was and we talked about it, that was the signal to shut up, Liam, and then her line. It was just like a little fun, like, I think we did a lot of takes. I was walking back and forth, just, you know, randomly talking, and then it's Kevin being like, oh my god, there's a camera, hi, like, I'm Kevin, blah, blah, blah. And it's read this note. And that's when I really started, like, to make Kevin a character outside of just the Frozen Dive, where he's like, I can't, because I can't read. And I bring that back and live with myself. Kevin can't read. He still can't read, which I think is hilarious. And then, yeah, it's a birthday message. So, you know, Kevin gets shot, and then you have the zoom in, and then it's, happy birthday, Aisha. I can't do it as well as I used to. I used to do Kevin a lot, so I was really good at that. But those are the 3 videos, and then bringing it back, we get to near the end of summer the following year. I'm like, I want to bring Kevin back. Up at the lake, there's this little floating dock out in the water. The one that we actually filmed in Campless. It's out in the water, and it's there. Like, it's later in the season, like it's near the end of the summer. There's not a lot of people out there, so we film a video. And so I wrote this like little two-part series, which I think is pretty funny. Others may not think it's as funny as it is, to me at least. But Kevin got shot in the last video, so first you gotta resurrect him. And so I had a lot of these ideas, and again, Kirsty films all of the Kevin videos. She is the cameraman for all except for Kevin is missing. I filmed that one alone. Before, like, I think it was like the day of Kevin's ransom. But yeah, following summer we get out there, and it's like near the end of summer, it's like first weekend of September, I think. I'm like, okay, ready? Let's go film. And so first we go out there, we get everything set up. I'm like, okay, I want to be buried in the sand. I'm resurrected, so I'm brought back from the dead. I've been buried. So we bury my face. Do you know how uncomfortable it is to A, have sand all over your face, but B, have sand work its way under the goggles that are pressed against your face? That hurts so bad. Hurts so bad. But we do that, get up, and I was actually setting up something that was picked up kind of in Living With Myself, and I kind of talked about in the 5-year anniversary. But it was like, you owe me one. But of course, Kevin can't read, so he doesn't realize what that says, which is funny. Yeah, I say it's funny, but no, but I think it's really funny. And so Kevin's like, I can't read. He's like, water, and because Kevin's obsessed with swimming. Go out there, and that's when the joke hits. Kevin can't swim. Kevin does not know how to swim. And so he drowns. I surrender myself in the water, and I think video cuts. The fun part. Water was freezing cold. It's so cold. Kevin's stranded. It is my favorite Kevin video, but oh my goodness. I am so pink in that video because I'm so cold. That water is, it's sharp on the it's sharp on the skin. But we film this on my phone. We put my phone in a bag, plastic, and I swim out carrying it like this. Get to the dock. Kirsty swims out there. We get on the dock. We film. I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this. And so we come up with, yeah, Kevin drowned, but he got himself to this little dock. Kevin's got to get himself back. And I was like, we're gonna do like a little training montage. And it's like, not like actual training. It's stupid. It's like, oh, like finger stretches, and like all that. It's good. And then I go, I'm like, and little toe in the water, no, gotta keep going. And then we go right back into it. Like, it's an intense look. And of course, Kevin in the goggles, the swimming cap, like all of it. I look goofy in that costume. I will fully admit, I look goofy in that costume. So I think it's just, I love looking back at it and be like, oh God, you were so goofy in that, Kevin. Like, you look so silly. But it's so funny to me. And then we go, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna jump back in, I'm gonna swim back, and then I fall. And that was on purpose. That was on purpose. Yeah, it was on purpose. Get it, I'm like, okay, swimming, and then cut, grab the bag, phone back in the bag sealed, swim back to shore, Kirsty grab the camera, Kirsty swim back, get out, get the camera, we're gonna film. And I'm like, okay, Kevin still can't swim, but he's not afraid of the water like he was, because it was a 2-part thing of Kevin can't swim, but Kevin's also afraid of the water. And so get back to this room. Okay, ready? And go. Doggy paddle. And man, that is hard to do. Doggy paddle is hard to do distance with. Especially when I'm like trying to be like a really splashy, really look bad. I'm like, get back to shore. Finally, it takes some time, but we finally get back to shore. And I'm like, hey, how do I want to end this video? I know. And this, it isn't a joke. The ending to Kevin Stranded is an inside joke. Because I've never seen The Breakfast Club. I hadn't at the time. I've seen it now, but I hadn't seen The Breakfast Club at the time. Kirsty had. Kirsty kept saying, like, oh, you should watch it, you should watch it. And I was against it. I'm like, no, I'm not watching this. But I knew about the end though. Don't. How's the song? Anyways, as he like walks, he throws the fist up in the air. I'm like, I knew about this. I was like, I'm gonna do it, but I'm not gonna tell Kirsty. I'm like, you're just gonna watch. Like, I'm gonna do this as like a joke to Kirsty because she hated when I would do that all the time. She's giving even seen it. You can't do that. And so I'm like, hey, film me like walking up this hill. I'm gonna walk up into the distance, and then you're good. And I walk up, and I do. And she goes, and she literally films. She didn't. I was happy. I was proud of her. She did not interrupt it. She films, stops it, and goes, you haven't seen it. Why did you do that? I'm like, well, I just thought it was funny. And then I took it, and I had a shot list. For Kevin's back and Kevin's Stranded. Kevin's Ransom didn't have one. It was a static shot. I had like actually I did have a script. The sheet that Kirsty holds up to me, that's her script that I'm reading off of, or that she's just like reading. It's still improvised. Don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit of Kevin is my first character. I love it, and Kevin, the last video that I'd done in this adventure series was 2018, and 2019 I just was so focused on Rules of Survival and just vlogs and school, and I didn't know what to do with Kevin. And then we got to 2020, and I was like, I'm starting to pick up the skits again. I'm like, okay. And then I get the prompt for Living With Myself. I'm like, okay, but I need that joke character that's never going to be taken seriously. And like has that like one-liners of like, he's kind of an airhead, he's kind of stupid. And yeah, Kevin, when it gets to Living With Myself, the character, I turn into, if you guys have seen Schizo by Ryan Higa, Hanate. He has like those like stay home cook rice, like that kind of stuff. Kevin kind of served that role in Living With Myself, but I finish it up, and I leave him with that, picking that back up, because all these years ago, I had written a series with Kevin's back. It was meant to be the starting point for a series about Kevin. That was, and this was probably not my first, but one of my first instances of reaching up here, being capable of here. Sorry, not capable. Reaching up here, having the resources to do here. I had this whole action series planned out with Kevin. It was meant to be a 8-part mini-series. I think actually 6 parts. I was going to look exaggerated. 6-part mini-series with Kevin as he's this action hero. We're doing like choreographed fight scenes. I have my friends all in these roles. And it's this whole story of like Kevin's been brought back from the dead. It's like a Lazarus pit type stuff. Kevin's brought back from the dead. He's a fighter. He's a trained fighter. And it's this whole thing, and it's how he gets a new swimsuit, because I was growing out of the swimsuit I was wearing for Kevin. That was from when I was like 9. So it was already small when I started doing Kevin's videos. Kept getting smaller. It was also starting to rip and wear away in places because I'd worn it a lot. And so I was like, I really need to get a new swimsuit for Kevin. But unfortunately, I think from the start I had said that this was Kevin's costume. Like, it wasn't just these items, like these kind of items. It was these items themselves. Kevin, every time he appeared, this. And so going, I was like, I said, I don't know. And so I had this whole series where swimsuit rips in an episode. It's like, oh my god, Kevin, what happened? And he gets gifted a new one, and it's the one that I wear, and it fits. And then it's like, when he's gifted it, it's in a room full of Kevin's swimsuits. It's like, okay, he has like this whole arsenal now to go through. Obviously, that didn't happen until I lived with myself, and so I stuck with what I had. And Kevin has continued. Kevin, I would love to bring him back. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to bring out a new Kevin skit. I can absolutely, I'd be more than happy to do another Kevin video. I love Kevin videos. And yeah, I would love to do another solo Kevin video. I think the skits are really fun and they're short. I mean, the longest one is 3 minutes and 53 seconds. It's under 4 minutes, and that's Kevin Stranded. It's the last of the adventure series. The shortest one is the first one. It's minute 10. They're not long videos. They're very short, and I think that it'd be really fun to do more and bring the character back. Kevin's a fun character, and I would love to do that. So, hey, you know, let's set a like goal. We are getting around near the end of this episode, but let's say 10 likes on this episode of the Cutting Room Floor, and I will have another Kevin video out. If we can get 10 likes on this episode of the Cutting Room Floor before next Wednesday's episode comes out, I will have a Kevin video out by December 15th. Okay? Offers out. There'll be a new Kevin video premiering on the channel December 15th. If we can get 10 likes. 10 likes. It's not that much. 10 likes. I think it's totally doable. Totally achievable. So let's see it. But that is where we are reaching the end of the 4th episode of the Cutting Room Floor. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, on top of the Kevin video, what would you like to see Kevin do in this video, this hypothetical video that'll be coming out? What did you think of Kevin when he first premiered, when the character was first introduced? Did you like him? Did you hate him? What were your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. Check them out. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. Sorry. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. Drop a like if you enjoyed today's episode. Speaking of subscribers, I'm going to be doing a little special the next couple of days coming out. So please come back and check that out. But I just want to do a quick thank you because this is my first video after hitting 500 subscribers. Thank you so much to all of you who are subscribed, to all of you who have watched over the years and possibly been subscribed and maybe decided that the channel wasn't where you want to keep your subscription. I understand and I appreciate that you're checking this video out. We hit 500 subscribers on Monday. Crazy. I mean, it took me over 2 years to get to 100 subscribers. It's taken me 7 more to get to 500. I would be lying if I said that I didn't at one point think that this was completely unachievable. I'm gonna keep the sappy stuff and how much this means to me for the special, but I just want to say thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. So yeah, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for subscribing, for supporting me over the years, and getting me to this point. We're at 500. We're actually at 501 at the time of recording. So thank you. Please check out more videos on the channel and subscribe if you haven't already. We're going beyond 501, beyond 501. I now feel more than ever that growth is achievable on this channel. So thank you. And I will see you guys in another episode of the Cutting Room Floor next week. If you are an audio listener, I guess you still get videos on Spotify. But if you're on YouTube, there'll be a 500 subscriber special coming out this weekend. So please check that out. Love you guys. See you soon.